So one of my friends, Drew, recently picked up a 240SX with a 2JZ swap in it, and with the car came a 2JZ GTE VVTi, not GTE, just GE, my bad. But it's got the variable valve timing on it, and I bought it from him, and I recently tore it down. I didn't record a video before I tore it down for some reason, but I got the video clips of me tearing it down, so that's what this video is going to be about today. So it's not in the best condition. It's sat for who knows how long. He's under the impression it sat for at least a year. What I do know is that whoever left it sitting with the coolant pipe zip tied up, and they left water in it. So the inside of the block is a little questionable, but everything else is fine. The crank spins all the way over. The heads look fantastic. So there's going to be pretty much a video of me breaking it down today and getting onto the inside of it. And then eventually soon here, after I finish the build that I'm currently working on, we'll start to have more content on that. So enjoy. So it's been a very interesting last few hours, to say the least. So earlier today, I was just messing around in the garage, and I found a engine stand on Facebook Marketplace for 30 bucks. It's a pretty decent one. It holds up to 1,000 pounds. So I went and I grabbed it, and I've been trying to get the 2J put in a position to put on the engine stand. So the 2J has been sitting for so long that there was just an insane amount of pressure in each cylinder, so it wouldn't twist past 180 degrees. Like, it would go 90 degrees to the right, and then it would go 90 degrees to the left, but it wouldn't do a full rotation. And it sounded like the crank was hitting, like it didn't fit, but I mean, like, one look at the bottom of the engine, it's pretty obvious that it's stock internals, so like that couldn't have been it. So I went and I pulled out all the spark plugs, and like that relieved all the pressure. And I had left all of them screwed in, or I unscrewed all of them, and I accidentally left 2 screwed in a tiny bit. So I'm still trying to turn it over, and then finally I look at the spark plugs again, and I like unscrew 2, take it out, and it like you can just hear air rushing into the cylinder. And then I give it a crank, and it turns right over, and I finally got the flywheel off. Man, did you guys know that the automatic flywheel for the 2J weighs like 45 pounds, dude? It's ridiculous. Either way, after all that BS, it's finally time to take the 2J and put it on the engine stand, because I finally got in a position to do that. Sorry for rambling, but I feel like you guys needed an explanation. So yeah, it's finally turning. It sucks because I did a lot of the teardown already, which, I don't know, kind of makes it lame. I wanted to tear it all down on camera, but I couldn't figure out what was going on with the flywheel and why it wouldn't turn all the way around for me to take the bolts out. I thought maybe the timing was off, and I had to like take off the front timing cover and get the belt off to maybe like fix it that way, but I got the belt off and it wasn't that. And then I finally took a look at the spark plugs and decided it'd be a good idea to take those out, and it worked. So here we go. That's in rough shape. Holy cow. Let me get a light on. This poor 2J has seen better days. She is just bleeding all over the place. I don't even know what to say. How could somebody do this to this engine? They took the oil pan off it and just let it sit for who knows how long with water inside of it. I drained a bunch of it out yesterday and it leaked all down my driveway. There was so much in here. I finally just got the head off, flipped it over, got out the rest. This poor engine. But this is the start of something better. This is the worst condition this block will ever be in. Fingers crossed. It's only up from here for this poor 2J. Okay, so we got some good news. Despite the inside of it looking like shit, it spins around, which is something that I haven't been able to do with it once since I've obtained it. I don't know if it was an issue with the timing or just an insane amount of pressure built up in the cylinders, but they spin just fine. Cylinder 1 is really bad. I'm not sure a regular hone's gonna fix that. The top of all these are really bad. We'll have to see. I'm ready to just start tearing this thing apart now, honestly. But, gotta be patient. So I'm not really sure if somebody did a head job on this, like if they took it all apart and did a valve job and cleaned it all up, but usually when you pull the valve covers off a 30-year-old engine, you expect to see like sludge and, you know, you just don't expect it to look this good. So I'm wondering what the story with this engine is, because, you know, you come over into this area and it's disgusting, you know what I mean? It looks like it hasn't been cleaned since it came from factory. But then the moment you pull the valve covers off, I mean, even look at the valve covers. They're disgusting. There is some remnants of red paint on them, so I'm thinking maybe at some point somebody may have loved this engine and treated it with some respect. But with the condition of the block itself, you know what I mean, and how there's like rust BS up here in the coolant passages, you'd think that when you pull off the valve covers, this is just going to be like a sludgy mess, but that's just not even the case. So that's pretty exciting. It doesn't look great under the head. I mean, the cylinders themselves, cylinder 1 is a little beat up. Not really sure how to explain it. I'll just have to show you guys. But the other 5 look great. There's no damage to the head gasket. The only thing that there is in there that's really concerning is the fact that the water that was left in the block rusted, and it created a pretty nasty, thick, blood red orange type of fluid that leaked out of the engine for close to a minute when I first flipped it over. So that kind of sucks, but I'm sure those things are fixable. I haven't really looked into it yet, but I can't be the first person who's picked up an engine that sat outside exposed for a year, so I can't imagine that it's completely destroyed, but we'll see what we can do with it. So this is what we're working with here. You know, you got your normal amount of carbon buildup, but then you get to cylinder 1 here, and you've got this, like, you know, you've got some minor pitting and stuff. I'm thinking that with the hone, that should fix it. Hopefully I don't have to bore the walls to get rid of that, because it'd be nice to just be able to use the stock pistons. But it's not too bad, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's a 2J, so that's exciting in and of itself. So hopefully we can get this coolant situation figured out, these passages in the block, and hopefully it's not as bad as I think it could be. So we'll see about that. So that's going to be it for today's video. That should give you guys a little bit of a look into the content that we got coming up next year. I'm pretty excited about it. I never thought that I would have a 2J, especially not this soon. It just kind of fell into my lap and the opportunity presented itself. So I'm pretty excited about that. Pretty soon here, after we finish this build, we'll be getting into what I'm going to be doing to the 2J. which is an NAT conversion. This is just a rough idea of where I can start building some power in the car, so I'm pretty excited about that. And like always, if you guys like the video and if you want to follow along with what I got going on, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.